New on Curiosity Stream. She was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on The Spy Who Stole the Atom Bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast one particular would-be thief out of a pair of would-be thieves. Now, first, their goal to break into a gun shop called the Uncoiled Firearms, located in Livonia, Michigan. They were there, of course, hoping to steal guns, ammo, money, whatever else they could find. But to accomplish their ill-fated mission, they would have to break through the front door, then break through a second door, go through a classroom, break through a third door, and then, once they finally made it to the actual shop, they'd have to break into the locked display case. But they needed to do all of this while avoiding security cameras or tripping silent alarms. So you got all that. We got 3 doors, a classroom. We get to the display case. We still have to get inside the display case. Don't trip an alarm. Do not, do not get caught on camera. Well, let's go back to phase 1. Break through the first door. Now, to do this, they went old school, and they decided to use a very heavy brick. Our honoree, he cocked his arm back, and he threw the brick with a very mighty force. So mighty, in fact, that the brick smashed into the bulletproof front door, ricocheted back, slammed into the man's nuts. He then hobbled away, mission abandoned.
Oh, my.
Yeah, they have a video out there. You see these two guys. They pull up in a truck, right? You see them kind of case the joint for a minute. And in spite of knowing they had to go through all of this to get to what they wanted, they come out with a brick. And this guy, I mean, he throws this brick. This thing bounces off like it hit a trampoline, and it goes back, hits him directly in the groin. He just drops for a second, gets up, and hobbles away. He didn't get back in the truck. He literally hobbles away. A brick. Yeah, it bounced back.
Have you seen the videos of guys who try to break into a convenience store, throw the brick at the window, it bounced back,
hit him in the head. I saw that guy, right, hit him in the head, knocked him out cold. Yeah, same thing. This time just hit him in the groin. And then mission. So this whole big, illustrious, Reservoir Dog style thing they planned on doing lasted about 7 seconds.
Well, the brick's not the thing you want there.
That's not the thing.
Nothing says slick crime like using a brick.
Like using a brick to smash a window. But we drink to him and his boys. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Hey, Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Happy New Year. And hola. All right there, Anthony. You understand how this here game is played?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. Then you have a choice of 1 of 3 stories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Well, we're still in a crappy year during this pandemic, so let's go with interior decorating.
Interior decorating.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
That's right. When you're having a crappy year, You try to guess what somebody put inside of their body. That is the new rule for 2020. On a good day, do anything else. On a bad day, this is where we go. And here's your story. We go to Australia, where a 70-year-old man, he was rushed to the hospital after he attempted to spice up his solo sex life. The Canberra man was admitted to the hospital with a, quote, bleeding urethral meatus. This happened after he stuffed something into his urethra in an attempt to, quote, achieve sexual gratification. Let me again read what the medical term is called. Bleeding urethral meatus. Fortunately, the report says the object was successfully removed using forceps and, quote, copious lubrication. According to the report, this isn't the first time that the man has attempted to insert a foreign object into his nether regions. They say pens, safety pins, telephone cables, glue, cocaine, straws, marbles, light bulbs, carrots, and snakes, among other strange things, have allegedly been found and stuck in penises in the past. Not his specifically, but just in Australia. Now, needless to say, wedging objects into one's penis is a hazardous activity. But you know that already. But what I want to know is, what do you think this 70-year-old super stud inserted into his urethra Franklin? Do you believe it was a straw, a fork, a thermometer, or a phone charger? So straw, fork, thermometer, or phone charger, those are your options.
Why can't it be simple and just be a dodo?
It's not what he's into.
Obviously.
He's in Australia.
He's in Australia, and he's 70 years old. This is not his first go-round of this kind of thing, but and he's one of those people, though.
I didn't hear that part.
It's in Australia. Once this thing got stuck in there, he's not one of these guys that wasted time. I mean, he just went to the hospital and said, look, this is what I did. Please get it out.
I'm Anthony, I think straw. I'm going to just go straw here.
Possibly, but would a fork do more damage?
I mean,
I would think so.
Considering that if you were to use a catheter, it is almost similar in design to some extent as a straw.
Except the catheter is tapered.
Right. So that,
which makes a big difference.
But a fork just seems like you could pull it out.
A fork?
Yeah, because you're only going to put one prong in there, not all four, right? Let's hope.
I don't know. He put a snake in there once.
I don't know if all of those apply to him. All of the past things, which again, snakes, light bulbs, carrots, cocaine, straws, marbles, glue, telephone cables, pens, safety pins. These are just some of the things that doctors have extracted.
So what was it? Straw, fork,
thermometer, or phone charger.
Ooh. You know what? I think he plugged himself in with a phone charger.
You do?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Anthony, you've heard what I and Ted think. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking a phone charger, too.
Phone charger as well for Anthony.
Hey, just screwed up plugs.
Okay, we're going to find out what this Australian jam down under. Was it a straw, a fork, a thermometer, or a phone charger next?
That was a tease.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
What if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
back to the conversation. This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All right, subject is interior decorating on profile. This 70-year-old man down in Australia tried to spice up his solo sex life, as you said there, Steve, by inserting something in his urethra.
Urethra Franklin. Let's have some respect.
Went to the hospital, said, Doc, I stuck this up there. Question is, what did he insert in his urethra? A straw, a fork, or thermometer, or a phone charger?
And there's no good answer to this, but we will start with the answers given. Miles, you said a straw. Nope. Although I agree, out of these four, that might be my top pick. It was not a straw. And then, Anthony, you agreed with D. Smith, went with phone charger.
Yes, I did.
I'm sorry, but there is a story of an underage kid. He's probably 12 or 13, maybe. He did, in fact, insert a phone charger in there. But in this case, the 7-year-old man, and not one time, but an entire fork. An entire fork. I saw the x-ray. Unfortunately, the fork is kind of sideways in the x-ray, but it's the entire fork.
I thought about fork just because it seems so crazy.
That's ridiculous to me. I mean, it's all ridiculous, but that would have been my last pick.
Yeah.
Out of the options given. And
then phone charger just seeed fun.
I know what you mean. I would pick a different word, but sure.
Yeah.
No, he went fork. Old fork to the Johnson.
I would have gone spork.
Spork.
Well, the prongs are shorter.
Yeah.
That's why.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with 10.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Tell you what, the TV world has some interesting news break last night. So I know we're not the biggest fans of the Kardashians in here, but the story was that Kim and Kanye are getting a divorce.
Yeah, I can't believe it took this long.
Now, did you hear the other crazy twist to this story?
No. Uh-oh, we have a twist in the story.
Yeah.
Damn it, I couldn't find it. Never mind. Sorry for that dramatic pause.
We had a twist button, but we lost it.
Shit like Chubby Checker?
Yeah.
Come on, baby!
Like Chubby.
There we go. We'll make it dramatic anyway.
Yeah, the twist in the Kim and Kanye story is that there's reports that Kanye has been dating Jeffree Star.
What?
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't see that yet, Mike?
No.
So Jeffree Star is a very famous makeup tutorial person.
Okay.
And has been linked, I want to say it's like an NBA player before or this and that. So the story is they all lived in the same Calabasas neighborhood. Kim and Kanye were like, all right, let's break up. But let's play nice for the kids or whatever.
Sure.
So he moves to Wyoming. And then the internet sleuths kind of figured out that Jeffree Star had moved to Wyoming. So now that's allegedly.
Aha.
That's what's happening.
That they're hooking up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Got a little lost the shuffle today, but this morning I was like, that is wild.
Damn. I'm surprised their marriage lasted this long. And then what's more terrifying to me is, they got married. You knew this was destined for failure, so that's not a surprise. But one thing that was very shocking to me, and I do mean this honestly, is that as the relationship has gone on, and whether you care about them or not, and I do not, but you can't help but hear about them, is that Kim suddenly seemed like the smart one. And I just never thought there'd be a situation where I thought that Kim, no matter who she might be with, that Kim Kardashian would strike me as the smarter of any two people in any situation.
Well, you got a guy who says he's bigger than Jesus.
Right, it is Kanye. I know. I was just stunned.
And he's a genius.
Yeah, all these things. Just ask him.
Take that with a grain of salt, I guess.
Well, when you look through rock and roll, right, there's been a ton of songs about women.
Yeah.
How many of them panned out?
Oh, you mean the relationship?
Like, isn't there a famous song about somebody
like 0.1%?
Right, or they're it's like somebody in the band, oh, I really like that girl, but she's dating the lead singer or this or that.
But I wrote a song about her because I want to sleep with her, but she is dating my bandmate. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't forget, years ago, Kanye wrote a song about Kim Kardashian, and then got her attention, and then they started dating. He's always had a weird thing with Beyonce, too.
It's not weird. I get it, but it's just,
Yeah, it's supposed to be your dude, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Seems a little out of taste to be pawning after your business partner's wife.
But it is Kanye West. All right.
Yeah, he doesn't care anything. Yeah, Mike, I thought they'd get you into that one. You got to show them a picture of Jeffree Star.
Oh, yeah, let me see this guy. I've never even heard his name.
No, I have no idea.
Usually I've at least heard the name. I don't know who they are, but I thought Billie Eilish was a dude for years. Not familiar to me, but
no.
That looks about Kanye speed.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Hey, look, they're all into fashion.
Yes. Good times.
First of all, I didn't even know David Hasselhoff was in SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie from 2004.
Really? This is news to me. Only 17 years later.
Yeah. So I guess on Instagram, he's saying that he's going to auction off the giant replica of himself that was used in the movie. He said, Big Dave from the SpongeBob SquarePants movies could be yours. The Hoff auction beginning is open now.
How much do you think that thing fetches?
10 grand maybe.
Because people love SpongeBob. No one loves David Hasselhoff, but there's that weird, he's kind of the butt of every joke kind of thing. I bet you might get more than that.
So this is part of a larger auction of Hasselhoff memorabilia. The top bid so far, what did you guys guess?
Miles said up to 10 grand. I'm saying
10?
even more.
Are you serious? It's a giant statue of David Hasselhoff.
$8?
120 grand right now.
What?
There's 2 weeks. There's 2 weeks left. It's expected to go somewhere between $750,000 and $1.5 million.
Wow. Okay.
And
I underbid.
For your money, you get a giant statue of David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, giant replica.
Wow.
So I guess that it's more like him, maybe a Madame Tussauds.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, like...
That's even creepier. You know, it's like there was the Rocky statue in Philadelphia, right? And you go, right. It's a Rocky statue. And if you bought that, I'd wonder how much money you actually have, but still, you'd be like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. But if I went in and it's like a wax figure of Sylvester Stallone, be like, dude, now it's creepy.
I mean, I have to think some of that money's coming from Germany.
Oh, yeah, you know what, he is... Yeah, he can walk on water in Germany.
Yeah,
for sure.
He is huge there.
For sure.
Right, and remember, he had a song when the wall came down and like the country was all about it and this and that. It's like, Hasselhoff can do a lot there.
And everyone in the States is like, what is it about David Hasselhoff that Germany's like, yeah,
he's
David Hasselhoff.
He's magical.
He is, man.
Yeah.
When he farts, it's like unicorns are born, you know? I mean, it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Knight Rider was big. Baywatch was big.
Yeah, I mean, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah,
but he's reached iconic status.
He's like the William Shatner
Chuck
of Germany.
Norris hadn't done anything in 20 years.
True.
He's an icon. You know, he's on that level of why do I care?
Yeah, but Chuck Norris was just a joke that kind of started up.
But
it was funny.
He was.
But what's he been doing?
I don't know.
Right, Hasselhoff stays in the news and stuff. Like, you see what Hasselhoff's out there doing. He makes,
I'm just saying, I think he's at that level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I think Hasselhoff's a much more iconic.
You think he's more iconic than Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris is just a punchline.
In the States. Yeah, he is, but I can't ever say David Hasselhoff without kind of joking.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, what movie of Chuck Norris's do you like?
Not a single one.
No.
They were terrible.
Right, so I'm saying, he was just a punchline and a joke. It's not like Hasselhoff, if that same thing was going with him, he would have made a whole album about it.
Of course. Right. Okay.
And, I mean, look, I'm not going to lie, I like Baywatch.
We all did.
Yeah.
I like Knight
Rider.
Yeah.
I love Knight Rider, sure.
That's what I'm saying. Not that Chuck Norris did anything wrong, but he's almost more infamous.
I got you.
Whereas I'd say Hasselhoff, man, I can't believe I'm going to say this, is more iconic. Right?
This might be the most ridiculous conversation I've had. Who's more iconic, Chuck Norris or David Hasselhoff?
Yeah, it's clearly
you
the
know
Hoff.
what? Tonight, have that conversation with friends.
Yeah.
That's a reasonable poll.
That's a good debate.
Who is more iconic, Chuck Norris? We understand they're both kind of silly. I mean, but you top it all off, you have people like William Shatner, Adam West, the original Batman, right?
Right.
Somehow they've hit that icon status, even though, Shatner did what? Star Trek, that was it. I know he did T.J. Hooker, some sitcom that didn't last. Adam West was Batman and nothing else, but somehow...
He was also Mayor West on Family Guy.
Yeah, you know what?
And likability.
That actually elevated his act.
Likability plays into it, like Betty White.
Sure.
Oh, Betty White, she's a whole different level.
As far as just, do the majority of people like this person or...
Listen, Betty White, if nothing else, movie Lake Placid, the cop's harassing her, and she's still an old lady in the movie. When she turns around and looks at this cop and says, hey, if I had a D, this is when I tell you to suck it. To me, instant classic.
Right, and Betty White, keep in mind, that's early 2000s that movie came out?
At best, yeah.
Right, so that's before you had, internet just kind of things were funny to be funny, right? Like Sad Keanu or... You know what I mean?
That was great, yeah.
Right? So, I feel like Chuck Norris kind of got on that because it became like a very funny thing to say and make memes and this about, where it's like, Betty White, to her credit, I'm with you. Like Placid. I mean, I just didn't see that scene coming.
No, man, she was awesome in that movie.
Even like a Bob Barker in a way. From Happy
Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not from Price is Right.
Right, not from Price is Right. You knew him from Price is Right, but Happy Gilmore made him an icon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, right? Because when you talk about Price is Right, I almost always will say Plinko before I say Bob Barker.
Absolutely.
But if you say Bob Barker, I'll say the price is wrong, bitch. right? Like it's that simple. Miles, that's a great point, man. That is such a big role. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, this is a good argument.
I know, now I'm thinking of all these, like, why do we like certain people so much? I mean, even Alex Trebek, right? There's nothing to dislike about the guy, but if you were your teacher or your father or even your neighbor, you might feel different. Because one thing about him, I think part of the reason he seemed iconic is because for 36, 37 years that he hosted the show, he never changed. Right. Like, if your answer was wrong and he felt that you were so wrong that you were stupid, he had no problem saying that. But
you're a nerd.
But, he didn't say it to be funny. He wanted to let you know that he thinks that you are dumb.
Well, Trebek's another one, right? I think we kind of turned the corner. For me, I always thought he was a little, like that. Like,
stuffy, right?
Yeah. But then when you read about him chasing down people in a hallway, half naked or whatever, you're just like, holy cow, this guy.
All right, now here's someone who was always kind of highfalutin, not necessarily, just seemed kind of highfalutin. James Lipton. Do you remember James Lipton?
Yeah, from Inside the Actors Studio.
Inside the Actors Studio. Nothing about that guy seemed particularly charming, but for some reason I still liked him. Like, I can't imagine myself sitting down at a bar and having a conversation with that dude. I think he's dead now, but when he was alive, I can't imagine talking to him because he was just so. But there's something about him. Like, you became an icon because basically the way you talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Because the actors made the show interesting. I mean, right? That's why they're there. But there's just something about the way he spoke, and it's always just this, like the Queen's English, except you're not English kind of thing.
Yeah, very fancy.
Exceptionally fancy. And for some reason, we're like, I love that guy.
Yeah. Well, and Trebek, rest in peace. But I think Trebek, too, it was just one of those things. Like, there's generations of people that grew up in, like...
That's true.
Whether it's 7:30, like, Trebek was there.
You know what's going to piss me off 20 years from now? It's inevitable that it happens because they're showing Trebek's final episodes now, and my kids are just starting to get into Jeopardy because they've had enough school that they can kind of make an educated guess at some of the questions. 20 years from now, if I bring up Jeopardy, they're going to be like, well, so-and-so's the host to me.
Yeah, it's a good
They'll be like, oh, no, Ken Jennings in Jeopardy. And I'll be like, no, that's not true. It's Trebek. And he wasn't even the original host.
Yeah. Well, that's like Monday Night Football. For a lot of people, it was
Howard Cosell, right.
Right. And
O.J. Simpson was there for a while.
Frank Gifford.
Right. Frank Gifford was there forever. That's how I knew Frank Gifford. Like, I remember being at a certain age and finding out that Frank Gifford
played football.
Right. And was good.
And dandy Don Merritt.
I know.
Yeah, right. Like, Gifford was good. You're like, what?
He played football.
Yeah.
But that's the way my kids feel when they see Troy Aikman. Like, who is that guy who always looks drunk? I'm like, that's dude, he won 3 Super Bowls. I mean, and my kid's mind is blown. But same thing with, The Masked Singer. I told you, the first season it was on, I can't remember what Tommy Chong was dressed as, but when he unmasked himself, it's Tommy. But my kids liked that particular costume.
And Terry Bradshaw.
So they thought that Tommy Chong was the coolest guy ever, and I'm looking at him like, there's a reason your dad likes him.
And thinks he's the coolest guy
ever. It has nothing to do with it, but they cut Terry Bradshaw, right? They kind of recognize him from doing football stuff. But when I told my son, do you know that dude won 4 Super Bowls? He thinks I'm joking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He didn't play football. So I swear to God, he played football. He played for the Steelers. He won 4 Super Bowls, dude. He was really good.
Yeah, sometimes, too, when you watch, like sports reporters on TV, whether it's a sideline reporter or this or that, I think a lot of people would be shocked at how high level of sports these people have played.
10 years from now, my kids will have no idea that Michael Strahan, who hosts everything, was a football player.
Right, and set a record for the most sacks in a season.
But they will not, because he's so nice.
Favre gave it up to him.
Favre really did hand it to him, dude. That was the lamest sack. But either way, it's going to blow their mind. I felt that way with Fred Dreyer, the guy who was Hunter. Yep. TV show. He's a tough guy on the TV show. My dad's like, dude, he played football. I'm like, what's that? Merlin Olsen.
He played for the Rams.
The Rams. Merlin Olsen. That was another guy. He did all kinds of... He
played for the Rams, too.
But he was always
strange connection between L.A. NFL football players and...
ended up on TV.
Wow. Shocking.
Yeah, you're always stunned because Merlin Olsen, for me, when I was a kid, I think he played like a priest or something like that on some show, but he's like a real good guy. And then he was doing crap for like FTD Flowers.
That's how I remember. He was a flower guy.
Right. So everything about him was this flowery kind of stuff. My dad's like, that dude would have killed you on a football field. Like, not Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, him and Deacon Jones.
Deacon Jones.
Mean defensive
right.
line.
What about Webster's
He used to do
dad?
Miller Lite commercials, too, Deacon.
Yeah. Webster?
Webster's dad. Who was
I was like, Webster? Like,
No.
that dude played football in the NFL?
That'd be cool.
Emmanuel
He's shorter
Lewis.
than I am.
Yeah, dude. That's Emmanuel Lewis, played defensive line.
I think the dad on that show, I want to say was he played for the Bears. I can't remember if he was a linebacker or not. Yeah, I mean, it's just wild how people, like, attach to something. And you're right. I don't know what the decision between we like them or we don't like them.
Well, sometimes I like James Lipton. I do not know. There's nothing redeeming about him to me at all.
Yeah.
But
and then
like
you look at, like, the Deppster right now, Johnny Depp.
Oh, jeez.
And it's like everybody really liked Johnny Depp for a long time. Through 80s movies, 90s movies,
Sure.
the Pirates movies.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah, you found out a lot about him. The only thing I ever didn't like about him was just, what was the band? What was like him and some
Vampires, the Hollywood Vampires?
Hollywood Vampires.
Yeah. It was like, I feel like he's just in that band because they're all musicians and they were
Right.
like, come on, Johnny, you can come play with
I
us.
believe he's a musician. I believe he can play guitar, but he's not playing guitar on that level. You know, it's Joe Perry from frickin' Arizona.
Yeah, right?
The
I mean, you're
guy's a
talking
lumbering dolt, but the guy...
Grade A talent there. Anyhow, Hasselhoff, icon.
We should put that interview on the Greatest Story Never Told podcast.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you know, it's not a bad idea.
Everyone would unsubscribe.
Your podcast isn't that long.
When it is that boring.
We'll make it a 3-parter.
Brand new Greatest Story Never Told podcast available now on radio.com.
New on Curiosity Stream.
Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean you can't.
Watch Earth's greatest minds forge our path to a better tomorrow. It's engineering the future. And Jaws, Star Wars, The Godfather, E.T. The biggest movies have even bigger music. From King Kong to The Dark Knight. See how musicians scored Hollywood's greatest hits on great film composers' music of the movies. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida man threatens to go cops while riding in airboats up and down the street. We head to Denmark, where a children's cartoon features 25 pounds of swinging meat. Here's where we're at. 50 million people now believe that Helen Keller was a fraud. Florida man who threatened to burn house down has a mugshot that we can all applaud. And a porch pirate in Canada learns the importance of all-wheel drive. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, top story, we go to Canada, where a porch pirate has been beat by nature. In a video shared online, the homeowner opens his front door to see the thief currently attempting to lift a package off of his porch. Caught in the act, the pirate attempts to flee the scene by getting back into his car, but is immediately thwarted when he high centers his car on a pile of snow at the end of the driveway. The thief desperately tries to get the car unstuck as he is mocked by the homeowner, and police eventually arrive to take the man into custody.
If you get the chance to watch the video, do.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It is hysterical.
Because he does. As soon as the door opens up, you see him let go of the box that's on the porch. He sprints back to his car, jumps in there, and just those tires are squealing as he backs up, bounces up and over this hill, and then bam, he's stuck. That tire's just spinning.
Then gets out of his car trying to push the thing out. Meanwhile, the homeowner's like, bro, the cops are coming.
And the thing is, he's digging the snow out from the front. As the video goes on, he's just sitting there like, you need a shovel? I can help you. You need a shovel?
You almost start feeling bad for the guy. Like, damn, dude.
Oh, yeah. The cops show up. It's great. Another news down in Arizona. While the state may have been one of the latest to legalize marijuana, authorities are going through the awkward stages of having to keep the situation under control. A car was stopped on the highway for speeding, but the stop took a turn after the car reeked of pot. A subsequent search, quote unquote, found 450 pounds of marijuana stuffed into the vehicle. The cop informed the driver that he wasn't allowed to have quite that much of a haul on his person, and he was charged.
Did you read what the judge said, or the cop, I think, the quote?
No, what's that?
It was something to the effect of, like, you can't have that much weed, dude.
Yeah.
Just
490 pounds?
450.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, yeah. He's up there, Ted.
You are so close.
He's not a monster.
Right, he's not crazy.
And they showed the picture, like the back is opened up and there is just bale after bale, like hay bale size amounts of pot just sitting there.
I still assume, and I don't know Arizona's law, but there's still kind of like a limit.
Right. Not to mention the law doesn't go into effect for, what, another 2 weeks?
Okay, that's a problem as well. That's an important thing. Even when they legalized it in Washington, and look, everyone that smoked still smoked. Didn't matter to me.
Right.
But it was understood like, hey, this law does not go into effect until blank. So they were like, look, we know you're smoking weed. It's Washington State. But before you start doing it all over the street, can you just wait?
Right. It's technically not illegal. I don't care that you're doing it right now because it's about to be. Don't make me have to talk to you.
Right.
This guy running down the freeway, I guarantee you he smelled for 3 miles. Just blowing down there with that skunky stench all the way down. Good Lord Almighty. A man took to Twitter to reveal a new underground society of quote-unquote truthers. While having a conversation with his daughters, it was uncovered that they are of the belief that Helen Keller, the miracle story of a woman that was born both blind and deaf yet learned to communicate, was all completely made up and a scam. They said that there was no way that she had that much difficulty communicating and managed to write a book. Originally thinking that he was being trolled, he took to the internet where he discovered that they were not alone in this belief at all. Tens of thousands of younger people are skeptical of the story of Helen Keller.
I mean, look, not everyone's an idiot. Some people can do things. Look, Stephen Hawking. Do you not think that he figured out all this physics stuff because he couldn't talk and he looked kind of weird and he shriveled up in a wheelchair? It's like, Larry, look. And part of the reason Helen Keller was a big deal is because, specifically because of that.
Right.
Flat earthers should tell you everything you need to know. There's a serious problem with education in this country, you know?
Sure.
I mean, you think the earth is flat. This should not shock anybody.
Believe what you want to believe should not really be.
Now, look, I believe in Bigfoot, so I'm not, Sure. He's out there, Loch Ness Monster, all that.
But no one can disprove you. If you give me a tennis ball and a flashlight, flat earth, right? I mean, it's done.
Right.
If you have 10 seconds, you can disprove it. It's over. And you move on. Like, let's just move on to the
next term, confirmation bias.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Exactly. You are only looking for the information that supports your claim. Confirmation bias. Ta-da. And the thing is that their argument was, did you ever see Helen Keller do all these things? Did you see her communicate, though she couldn't speak? Well, she could make noises with her mouth, but she couldn't see, she couldn't hear, so she had trouble communicating. Did you see it? He's like, no, but I also didn't see Abraham Lincoln. They said, well, it's more believable what he did. That's why we believe in Abraham Lincoln and what he did and all the accomplishments that he made. But Helen Keller's too far-fetched.
Do you believe in air?
Right.
I have never seen air, but I have zero fear of suffocating because it's not actually there.
Do you believe in Wi-Fi?
Right.
Never seen it.
I swear that a lot of these
things... Do you believe in radio? You're hearing
You're hearing our voices.
Find the radio.
We live in a box inside your car. We're inside of your brain. They only let us out for pain in the grass.
Right.
And those are stunt doubles.
But the problem is that this is one of the inherent issues of the internet is that flat earthers, now Helen Keller, it's like, I swear to you it starts as a joke.
I believe that.
Hey guys, do you really believe that whole Helen Keller story? But the problem is that it gains too much traction. There's too much people that jump in on the joke with a little too much enthusiasm, and then those guys in the cave start coming out like, really? Helen Keller's not real?
I knew it. Ray Charles moved his head when I threw a bottle at him. 1976, Philadelphia.
Right, didn't Stevie Wonder grab a mic or something?
That's what it was. He grabbed a mic that was falling or something like that. See? I knew it.
Told you, man.
Well, he's not blind. I know that.
It'd be a great scandal. Stevie Wonder, not blind.
Yeah, I guess I can't like his music now.
Right.
That's the thing. Would it matter?
Right? What advantage would he have gained from it?
Lance Armstrong mattered.
Right.
He cheated. Everything that he said's a lie now. No, it's not. Be your best. A Florida man has been arrested and charged of robbing an acquaintance. The victim told authorities that on multiple occasions the man would blatantly steal the possessions out of his pockets, remarking that every time he saw him in the future, he would steal everything on him. But that is not why he's in the news today. His mugshot showing his phenomenal tattoo of an Old West mustache inked in the proper position and size right there directly on his face.
That also sounds like, doesn't that sound like Devo from the Friday movies?
I got nothing.
Like every time I see you, I'm going to take something from you. Right? Like you walk down here again, you're getting robbed.
And there you have it. And that is it for your headlines with that.
Mike Hawk is out. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time around. Head chef is back. Ted's Meat and Potatoes. And once again, we will play the game known as Big Dummy.
That is correct. In fact, it's all true. But in the meantime, we be all up out this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.